Cash here, and welcome to the Season 2 finale of Random Destinations. Now, I know it's been a few weeks since I was on the air, and that's because I was planning 2 more episodes, but considering the weather was getting cold and the COVID-19 cases were coming closer to home, I decided it wasn't worth the cost and the hassle to go do 2 more seasons for what I consider to be a pretty crappy season anyway. But I know what you're wondering. You're wondering, how could I possibly make a better season finale video than my 1-year anniversary video from about a month ago, or my season 1 finale from a year ago? And the answer is, I can't, because season 2 was especially crappy from my point of view. Not that the videos technically were that bad, but when you have a video that starts out with a picture of a toxic waste pile or a plate of pancakes, you know it ain't going anywhere. And if you think those videos were bad, well, you should have seen the ones that even I couldn't put together. There were quite a few ended up in the trash can, but that's the way it goes. And nonetheless, we had 21 videos put out this year, and I'm over 4,300 views, which is incredible. That just blows me away, and I have 48 subscribers. And if you'd all line up, I'd like to all give you all a t-shirt and thank you personally for watching my videos. Now, let's look on to some of the highlights of Season 2. Bad as I personally thought Season 2 was, I did have 3 episodes that I was pretty happy with, and actually was quite pleased with them. The first one was Bennett Springs. I thought from a 4K episode and walk around, I was very proud of that, and that was episode number 5. The second one I was pretty pleased with was the trout fishing on Lake Taneycomo, which not only was that episode a lot of fun, I was pleased at the fact I could salvage it, considering the microphone became unplugged about 15 minutes into it, and I lost most of the audio for that trip. But even so, I consider that to actually be one of my better videos. But the one I'm most proud of is the Lake of the Ozarks episode, number 4. First of all, it's had 623 views. That is by far the highest views of any episode that I've put out. Now, as you recall, I gave Lake of the Ozarks a rock-solid F. And because of that, I've had to go back to the Strasburg episode in Season 1 and change their score from an F to a D+. Because actually, while I didn't like Strasburg, I didn't like it as much as I don't like Lake of the Ozarks. So I had to go that back. So all you people who live in Strasburg or have been to Strasburg and were offended by that F, it's not an F anymore, it's a D+. Lake of the Ozarks, however, is still an F. Now, just to rehash a little bit about the Lake of the Ozarks, the episode I did not want to film. When I filmed that episode, there were 34 cases of COVID-19 in Camden County. Today, thanks to the concerted efforts of the mayor of Lake Ozarks and Osage Beach and Camdenton, throw him in, and don't forget the Camden County Sheriff. Camden County alone's up over 1,500 cases with, I believe, 26 deaths. And the other 2 counties, I think when you add those 2 in there, we're over about 2,500 cases, and I think the majority of the deaths have been in Camden County. We personally know, East Maine, I personally know of 5 cases here in town among neighbors, so it's getting close to us. But the good news is, and this is the reason one of the reasons I gave the lake such a poor mark, was that they were successful in having the most successful number of visitors and super spreader events in the history of the lake. So yes, there may be 15 or 2,500 people got deathly sick and ruined their lives, not to mention a couple dozen, 3 dozen that died. I'm sure they're all proud to have given up their lives so that Lake Ozarks and Blackwater Jacks and Shady Gators could rake in a lot of money. So that's why it got an F, that's why it's always going to get an F, but I'm especially happy about the views on it. That particular video has had 623 views, and while that's not very many to most people on YouTube, for my particular channel, that's far and beyond the number 1 video I've ever made. It's had 42% likes and 58% dislikes, and I'm proud of that too. The 58% I don't care about, that didn't like it, because that's the group that I wasn't aiming that video for anyway. They either live here, they've been coming here forever and want to see a feel-good video about the lake, and that's not what they got. They wanted pretty pictures like the tourism department would put. Nope, that's not what they got either. They got a long, boring video saying, don't get ripped off, go somewhere else. So I'm fine with the 58% that didn't like that video. But I really liked, though, with the comments I got from other people, particularly one, I think from Hawaii, who said, "Thank you for putting that video out. I've often wondered about coming to the lake, didn't know what it was like, and I appreciate your video. We'll go somewhere else." That's why I put that video up there. Now again, if you're offended by that, well, you're probably under 40 and don't care the quality of food you eat and how much you pay for a drink, and don't care if you get COVID-19 because it's a fake disease anyway. Well, in that case, come on down, have a good time. So to wrap up my self-critique of season 2, it was crappy. It was crappy because the places I went to, for the most part, I didn't think were worth going to. But like I say, if you've seen the videos that didn't make it up, you'd appreciate the ones that did come up, no matter how crappy they were. We canceled a cruise, and we canceled a nice trip to New Orleans. So all in all, considering the subject matter I had to work with and the conditions of the pandemic and people refusing to wear a mask or believe anybody that has a degree in science or even knows how to spell science, I was pretty satisfied with it. Now, next year, if there is one, we hope to get back to normal. We still have the entire itinerary for the New Orleans trip, and that'll probably be the first one that we do, but it won't come until there's been a post-Trump vaccine approved, and then we'll take it. And we also have a notify us list for a cruise of, or not a cruise, well actually we do. We have a Viking cruise that we're looking at for Norway and possibly Iceland, and we also have a land tour of Austria, the Italian Alps, and Switzerland. We have put in a request for a reservation on a specific date, September of next year, to go on the Austria, Italy, Switzerland tour. Odds are, the way things are going now, land tours will probably open up before cruise lines do. But we'll just have to see how that goes. So assuming Edith May and I make it through the winter here without getting COVID and dying, and travel returns to normal, or at least your ability to travel returns, then there'll be a season 3. If there isn't, then you won't hear from me. So for all you people that are just hanging on by a thread, go ahead and cancel your subscription because I don't know when I'm coming back. And that's actually the only reason I did this video today, was I kind of left it up in the air because at the time I did the last video, I didn't know if I was going to go finish it. Like I say, I had 2 stops planned and then decided now I wasn't even going to do it. And I just, for you 48 viewers that watch my channel religiously, I just had to come out and say, nope, you can stop watching, you know, unless you want to see my septic tank pumped out, which I still haven't done. There isn't going to be anything else until probably March or April. So I appreciate every single one of you. I wish you were here so I could shake your hand and give you a t-shirt, because you have hung in with some really crappy videos of mine. And I appreciate the comments. And like I say, check back every now and then. If there's something comes up, I will put it out. I'll tell you what, the biggest event coming up, and both Edith May and I are definitely excited about this. Sometime this week, we are going to have our first great-grandson, and that's a big deal for us. Now, if you're thinking, I'm 45 and I already have a great-grandkid, well, that says a lot about you. Maybe do a little rudimentary math and see what that says. But we're not. We're pushing 75s, so it's time for us to move from grandparents into great-grandparents. And our granddaughter is about to have a baby boy, and she's done real well during this pandemic. We're very proud of her, and it could be today, could have been yesterday. I don't know. It's coming up close. So it'll probably be March before we see him too, but either way, that's the biggest thing on our agenda. So I appreciate all you watching and tuning in on this. I know this is another rambling video with nothing good to show you, but at the end here, I'm going to show some yellow leaves falling off in the yard that I'm going to have to rake up and burn. So until season 3, thanks a lot. This is Carter Catter. So until season 3, thanks a lot. This is Carter Cash and my assistant Frassel the cat saying we'll see you then.